energy monitoring system is. As your electricity comes into your office building through the power lines, you would install your own individual self-owned and self-read electricity meter. This meter would often be connected to an online system which could be read via a computer and displayed on a dashboard where you could easily analyze the data and track energy performance. So, why do you need an energy monitoring system? It allows you to continually report and to measure your own energy consumption, and these systems should be tailor-made for each facility. How these systems can be tailor-made determines on whether you want a real-time, online, or standalone system that you would go and read manually each day, month, or year. You could have a single point or multiple point reading. So you could log only your main incoming electrical line, or you could sub-meter down to various floors, departments, or processes, depending on what your requirements are for your energy policy. One of the key things to note about an energy monitoring system is it makes energy consumption visible to all. In the past, everyone could see whether a light was burning, but no one could actually tell how much electricity was being used by that light burning or them leaving their computers on. Electricity is something that you can't really see just how much you're using, and an energy monitoring system allows you to make energy consumption visible to all who use it through simple devices such as a dashboard and dials as shown on the bottom right of this page, which show how you're using energy in comparison to your baseline. This allows you to view in real time how you're performing against your energy targets. But how do you save costs from implementing an energy monitoring system? One of the first things to note is that we have penalties going to be implemented soon in South Africa surrounding energy usage. The PCP, Power Conservation Program, or Energy Conservation Scheme as it's otherwise known, has very stringent targets for industries or commercial environments and 8% for industrial environments. By having a real-time energy monitoring system in place, you can track your performance against these targets, and you can be alerted as to when you will be missing your targets and not making your required reductions. By knowing this, you can take proactive steps to reduce energy consumption and to therefore avoid penalties. Maximum demand notification is something that's very useful not only in your industrial facilities but also in your commercial facilities where you have large air conditioning plants running. By setting maximum demand thresholds in your energy monitoring system, you can avoid reaching a specified level of maximum demand and thereby reduce your maximum demand charges for your facility for a month. Power factor in South Africa is often a problem as we have a not so good quality power supply coming in from the grid. Our power factor systems often fail and go down temporarily with capacitor banks having blown. It's vital for facilities managers and maintenance managers in industrial facilities to know when their power factor correction units aren't functioning correctly. By having an energy monitoring system in place, you can set up demand or you can set up notifications that will allow you to be alerted as to when your power factor is not functioning correctly, and you can take the corrective steps required. Energy budgeting is becoming more and more important as energy costs rise. The need for accurate energy budgeting and energy budgeting forecasts is vital to any company. And by having an energy monitoring system in place, you can accurately track your performance against your energy budgets. An energy monitoring system is also a significant behavior change driver. As I mentioned earlier, it makes electricity consumption visible. And when electricity consumption is visible, you can then start to change people's behavior sustainably. Often we find during our work with clients that you can change people's behavior for short periods of time and they revert back to business as usual. By having constant reminders and constant visual aspects to it, you can create significant sustained behavior change within corporations. And lastly, it allows you to set targets and to track your performance against these targets in your facility. You can see in the picture below the target being the green line and the actual performance being the blue line. This company was saving significant amounts of energy and was displaying it to all their staff. What we found was the more they displayed how much energy they were saving, the more they would change people's behavior and that would create further energy savings. So what other further savings and benefits can you achieve from an energy monitoring system? Well, one of the other things we found in South Africa is that a lot of people and a lot of companies are on the incorrect electricity tariff. With a multitude of tariffs, not only from the council, but even more if you're supplied by Eskom, it's critical to know that you're on the correct tariff. Without having a permanent monitoring system in place, you are unable to check and to see if you're on the correct tariff. We also find that close on 40% of our customers are overcharged on their electricity in South Africa, either through billing faults or through overbilling by their landlords. By having your own energy monitoring system in place, you are able to check your bill and to have defendable proof according to of what your actual energy consumption is. And then in the day that we have today of environmental reporting with carbon footprints and the Carbon Disclosure Project becoming more and more popular amongst South African companies, it's critical to have accurate data for your environmental reporting. With many of South Africa's carbon emissions coming out of our electricity grid, we want to make sure that as for our clients and for companies that you have accurate electrical consumption data, and this would come directly out of your energy monitoring system. So now you've got your energy monitoring system in place, and we spoke about targets, but how do you go about setting these targets? Well, you start by looking at energy performance indicators. But what is an energy performance indicator? Energy performance indicators are benchmarks that you can set according to what your business does. They could be energy used per rand of turnover, or energy per kilogram of material used, energy per ton of goods produced, or if you are looking at weather as your predominant energy driver, energy per cooling degree day in South Africa. By setting benchmarks, you can then compare yourself to other similar companies, not only in South Africa, but around the world, thereby driving good business practice within your company and understanding exactly what type of energy reductions you can expect to achieve by looking at global best practice. You can also compare yourself to divisions within your own company by making energy efficiency a competition and seeing which division can save the most energy, reduce its energy intensity the most, or simply has the best performing benchmarks. You can get everyone in the organization involved in energy management and energy reduction strategies. So how do you set and achieve your energy targets? It's critical that you do this by implementing a detailed energy efficiency audit across your facilities. Out of your energy efficiency audit, you will get a full understanding as to what your current energy consuming systems are and where the inefficiencies lie within these systems. By identifying these inefficiencies, you can develop your energy management action plan. Your energy management action plan will highlight your energy reduction strategy, give you timelines for the implementation of certain projects, and tell you how much energy you can expect to save. By setting your targets in conjunction with your energy management action plan, you'll be able to set achievable targets in achievable timeframes according to this action plan. These targets could either be regulatory through systems like the PCP, or they could be company-driven targets where you see the value in going on the good business journey and reducing your energy consumption and thereby your environmental footprint. It's critical to communicate not only the targets but also to communicate the progress your company is making on these targets. This is where your energy monitoring system comes into place. By communicating your targets to all your employees and all the staff working within the company, you can make energy management everyone's responsibility and not only the select few. It's critical then to implement your action plan and not to only have it on paper. You need to make a commitment to reduce your energy consumption in your energy policy and then to assess the performance of the projects that you have undertaken. So what is the implementation cycle and the energy efficiency cycle for a company? So you go about starting off by writing your energy policy, which includes your baseline, your energy profile, and your energy targets. You then plan your various implementations according to your energy management action plan, and then you implement. It's critical to implement and then to check to make sure whether the project was a success or not. You do this check by monitoring and measuring using your energy monitoring system, and through various techniques you can also verify your savings. Should you not achieve those savings that you thought you had, you can take corrective or preventative action to make sure that this does not happen again. You find these out through the internal audit, which you then present to management for review at the senior management meetings. They will then review all the projects undertaken and reassess the energy policy, reassessing the targets and setting new targets for further improvements in energy performance within a company. But what can you actually go about doing to save energy? Well, some of the things you can look at, and one of the growing trends around the world today are intelligent buildings. Currently, most buildings are manually controlled. Things like your lighting, air conditioning, and computer systems are all manually controlled. Intelligent buildings control themselves. You have integrated building management systems, which are very clever devices and very clever systems which control all aspects of a building, from the lighting to the air conditioning to the computer systems. These integrated building management systems can be controlled remotely as well, so not just from a single computer in the basement of a building, but from as sophisticated to be able to use cell phones to control buildings and to remotely switch loads. Lighting, occupancy, and lux level sensors allow for automatic control of the lighting systems. Whether you are simply looking at ensuring that lights are not on when no one is present in a room or in an area, or if you want to maximize your use of natural light. A lot of new modern buildings today use a large amount of glass, which allows significant amounts of natural light into the building. It's therefore critical to make sure your lighting system is intelligent enough to harness this natural light and to maximize it, and to only use your artificial light when required. In your large HVAC systems, it's not only important to make sure that they're maintained well and highly efficient, but also to ensure that they are correctly zoned. Different zones within a building require different amounts of energy and different cooling. It's pointless to cool your whole building at the same temperature, as certain areas will be warmer than others. In South Africa, your north